So he opens the bottomless pit. Now wait a minute, where is the pit? Where does verse 1 say the pit is? He fell like a star from heaven to where? Earth. Where's the pit? It's on earth. See, most people, their minds about God, all that stuff is out there somewhere. You know, I don't know where heaven is, and I don't know where hell is, and it's here. This pit is on earth. Very interesting. And smoke comes out of the pit like the smoke of a great furnace. So to everybody on earth that are already dealing with everything else they're dealing with, now all of a sudden, it just starts somewhere on earth. This huge smoke comes and it just blankets the earth, and the sun and the air are darkened. It's kind of like during the height of the eclipse yesterday because of the smoke from that pit. So this is a global event. It's amazing. Now, real quickly, if you want to understand the book of Revelation is kind of like this, a pyramid with a point. There are 31,103 verses in the Bible, and if you tip them down like an inverted pyramid, every verse of the Bible has the weight of the other 31,000 verses on it. So if you want to understand the rest of the Bible, we call it analogia scriptura. In English, the scriptures explain the scriptures. So the best commentary on the Bible is the Bible. If you want to understand the Bible, read the Bible. Read it progressively and successively, looking for one thing at a time, is my suggestion. I've done it my whole life. Read everything about prophecy in the Bible. Read everything about marriage in the Bible. Only that. And all of a sudden, when you lift out those things, everything starts connecting. And you can understand every prayer of the Bible. You can understand all the names of God. You can understand everything it says about marriage and family and parenting and romance and everything important there. Everything about money. Jesus taught more about money than any other topic. You know what I mean? And so if you do that here, all of a sudden you know that the Bible, if you sift it through, there are a lot of verses about what we're talking about. And right here, Jesus was crucified on the cross and he was buried, and it says he went into the grave. Well, that's an interesting word. It's Sheol. And the grave we find in Luke, he said he was going there in Luke 23 to the thief. We find in Luke 16 that it has two parts. There's the happy side and the unhappy side. There's paradise and there's a place of torment. And Jesus describes those, and he says there's a great gulf fixed. And so we know about Sheol. Then Peter introduces us to Tartarus. And he said it's a prison. In fact, Jude adds to it. He said everybody in there is in everlasting chains under darkness awaiting the judgment. So within this pit, there's a sub-pit, kind of like an inner prison, a dungeon. And there are really bad angels there. And Peter talks about those. And then there's this side of the pit. It's called ABUSSO, or abyss. We see it showing up in Revelation 20. Satan goes there. Remember when the angel chains Satan and puts him and locks him in? It's the same place. It's this pit. And it's here on earth. Very interesting. By the way, Jesus went from the cross, he picked up the saints, he declared his triumph in Tartarus, and then he rose, then he ascended, he went to heaven, and we find paradise, by the way, is in heaven now. What used to be, the Garden of Eden kind of thing, the paradise of God is in heaven now. But I'm not teaching all that. I don't know how I got off on that. But here's the earth. Here's the cross. Here's the empty tomb. There's hell. Hell is not on earth, and it's not in heaven. It's out there somewhere. But Isaiah 66 tells us, remember, there's so many connections. Isaiah 66 tells us that in heaven, if you look out, you can see in the distance the lake of fire. So it's out here somewhere, and you can see it. It's not going away. And I'm not teaching Isaiah. So here's real quick. Number one, Jesus died on the cross. Number two, he went down here and to paradise. He took the thief with him. Over here is the place of torment where all the lost are. And Jesus comes, declares triumph to the spirits in prison, Peter tells us. Then he stepped out of the tomb, and then he ascended. He's seated at the right hand of the Father. The Garden of Eden that was here, that disappears in the flood, we find it's up here in heaven. Paradise was down in this grave, Hades, in the earth, but this is what we're talking about now, the abyss, ABUSSO. What's down there? Well, the chain part is down here. It's called Tartarus.